it is me, it is Q. I am here for a quick review of a tarot deck that I recently got. It is a totally unofficial Adventure Time tarot. I'm so excited to be working with the deck. Full disclosure, I contacted the author of the deck, Katherine Hillier. I will link all of her social media and stuff below, because I love Adventure Time and I love tarot, and I really wanted to review this deck, so I got the deck for free in exchange for my review. So I'm naming that. But what I will say is that I did a lot of research on this deck before I even contacted her, because I was so fucking excited about it. So it's definitely like a situation where I'm never reviewing anything that I wouldn't stand behind, that I like don't believe is quality. So just putting that out there. Anyhow, so I think that this is a really phenomenal deck for people who really love Adventure Time, and who really love tarot. I find that the choices that she makes for the different cards offer so much interpretive like nuance and interpretive like resonance, I think, for each of the cards. Here we have the Four of Coins, and it's Amo, which is so good, thinking about the difference between Amo and Bimo, right? We have Bimo as Temperance in the deck, but Amo and Bimo and the difference between them, thinking about how Amo like wants love and Bimo gives it, right? Just that juxtaposition between their energetic natures being so well reflected by these choices that she's made here. And all throughout the deck, I find the choices are phenomenal. Like, who else would the Hermit be but LSP, right? All that time alone that she spends in the forest. We have Finn's mom as the Queen of Cups. Like, so beautiful. And I've been working with the deck for a couple of weeks now. Here's Finn as Justice. And I think it's just so lovely, so beautiful. Something that's been really funny for me is I'm rewatching the show right now. And as I've been pulling cards, I'll like pull a card associated with the episode I recently watched, like immediately. Like, I just watched an episode, the episode on the Gumball Guardians, and then the next day after I watched that episode, I pulled the King of Swords, where you have like the main Gumball Guardian in the episode featured as the central figure in the card. Here we have Betty as the star. Like, how perfect, just thinking about the faith that she has, that she can help Simon to become himself again. But I really love this, especially for folks who are trying to get to learn tarot, who have like deep familiarity with the lore of this TV show, because it gives you an interpretive framework for different archetypes. Like, maybe you might have struggled with interpreting the High Priestess, but then you know a lot of things about Princess Bubblegum and her storyline and what she represents in the story of Adventure Time, and so that gives you something to latch onto when you're interpreting the meaning of the cards. You have the Magic Man as the Magician. Love that, because it really kind of speaks to even more so the trickster nature of the Magician card that I think a lot of people don't talk about that often. We have God, what is his name? I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but this is great for the Three of Swords. I love it. And so there's just all of these really beautiful choices that have been made. The illustrations are lovely. I really love the cardstock. It's really sturdy. She's sturdy. She's strong. It took me a few days of consistently shuffling the deck to kind of break the cards in to get them a little bit more flexible, which I like to see, because I'm kind of rough on my decks. You know, I'm shuffling them a lot. I do readings for other people. I do readings live in person, where anything can kind of happen to a deck. I'm carrying them all around in my bag, so it's nice to see a really sturdy deck. It does come in a tuck box, so if you're not super into tuck boxes, or if you're the kind of person who's constantly throwing your deck into bags, I would suggest getting a harder box, but it's still really phenomenal either way. The deck itself does not come with a guidebook. So that is the one caveat that I have for beginners. Like, if you want an all-in-one package for your first ever deck, you might want to get something that has a guidebook. But here's my double caveat. If you love Adventure Time and you're wanting to learn how to read tarot, I would just get like a guidebook. There are a lot of books out there that just give you basic meanings of the tarot cards, and you could easily get one of those and pair it with this deck, because again, I just feel like we have Billy on the Knight of Cups card. I feel like it's so indispensable to like take something that you're already familiar with, take a story you're already familiar with, you're already like invested in, you already have these emotional connections to, bringing it into relationship with tarot. It's good for you if you're learning. It's also good for especially intermediate and advanced practitioners. Like, I don't really really use guidebooks super often when I'm doing readings. And for this deck, I really don't need it because it's really obvious. It's really clear the message that she's trying to get across with each of the cards because she does such a phenomenal job. I mean, I love that this one's just super funny. It's just like, it's death on the death card. Like, what else were you going to do there? Right. But, this is one of my favorites. I really love Lemongrab. And Lemongrab on the Hierophant is just like, it's so good. It's so perfect. It's everything. It's everything I needed to see. Oh man, I love this for the 10 of Cups. Look at that. Little Jake. And Princess Rainicorn. We have, I don't remember his name either, but you know, the creator of all the Moes on the 4 of Wands card, like celebrating him, holding him up. It's just a really sweet deck, y'all. Especially like, I think of it as something that can really help to like commemorate this TV show series because it's over, right? They're not really making new episodes anymore. We did get recently that new kind of infusion with those like 4 or 5 longer form episodes that really gave us, you know, a deeper look into different aspects of the universe. But look at that. We have the Lich in the tower. That's like, it's so good. It's so good. I love this deck so much, y'all. The Chariot. This is the card that I pulled the most. I was doing daily pulls with this deck for the last 2 weeks. And I pulled the Chariot like 2 or 3 times. It's my birth card, so go figure. But it's just, we have Marceline the Vampire Queen on the Moon card. At this point, it may as well just be a flip through. I just pulled out a little stack of some of my favorite cards to show you. My favorite one, I think, right now is this card, the 9 of Swords. We have Lemon Hope on here. And it's so good. It's so good because it doesn't point at it 100% in the imagery, right? But when you think about the story of Lemon Hope, and especially when Lemon Hope's a little bit older, and they're like out and they're journeying because they're resisting this pull back to, you know, the Lemon Kingdom to like help the citizens there, but they are constantly having these nightmares about Lemongrab and about the people and about how they need that help. And so Lemon Hope eventually goes back, but it just speaks to that kind of constant anxiety. And I think it's so beautiful because it's this single image and these characters, and it's giving you this whole huge storyline. It's so good, y'all. I just love it so much. I imagine like when I had first started reading tarot, if I had a deck like this, it would be so helpful for interpreting the archetypes because, you know, instead of trying to, you know, get associated with a list of keywords, you can just like pull from the lore of something that you're already familiar with. It's so handy. 6 of Coins. We have PB's little brother, and just speaking to that give and take that we have in relationships. Oh man, Kim Kil-won as the Ace of Coins. So good, so good. That ocarina that doesn't work that Jake made him. Yeah, that's my whole stack of like my favorites. But there's so many good cards in the deck. Anyway, so you know, if you love Adventure Time and you love tarot, you're not gonna have any problems with this deck. You're gonna love it. It's a 10 out of 10. There's the King of Swords. It's so good. It's just such a sweet way to get reinvested and involved with the imagery. Especially if you happen to be doing a rewatch of the show like I'm doing. I've been rewatching the show like in preparation for receiving the deck, and it's been nice to like, you know, just get reacquainted with the storylines, and then kind of seeing them come to life in the cards. It's super fucking sweet. So yeah, check it out. I think it's a really sweet deck. 10 out of a million, or a million out of 10. Yes, a million out of 10 would recommend. Go check out the deck. All the information for finding it will be linked down below. And yeah, until next time, take care.